It's like sort of peering in through a window, looking behind doors. And the doors you're looking behind are the doors of the White House.
Tell your friend POTUS he's got a funny name.
I would, but he's not my friend. He's my boss. It's not his name, it's his title.
POTUS?
President of the United States.
The West Wing takes an insider's look at the people and personalities dedicated to working in the hectic world of the White House.
So the same suit you wore yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah. The White House is the most powerful spot in the world, and yet it's run by people just like you and me.
This is a group of people that are under a lot of pressure.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
What do you got?
443 is going to stay in committee.
I heard.
What else?
The Ryder Cup team is declining our invitation to come to the White House.
You're kidding.
Because of the joke.
You're kidding.
Sir, this may be a good time to talk about your sense of humor.
I've got an intelligence briefing, a security briefing, and a 90-minute budget meeting all scheduled for the same 45 minutes. You sure this is a good time to talk about my sense of humor?
No.
Me neither.
The show features an impressive ensemble cast that includes Martin Sheen as the president and Rob Lowe as his deputy communications director.
Oh, no, you've never seen anything like this on TV before. I've never seen this writing. I've never seen a group of actors like this. You know, I've known Martin Sheen since I was 13 years old. And believe me, he is magnificent in this part.
Naval intelligence reports approximately 1,200 Cubans left Havana this morning. Approximately 700 turned back due to severe weather. Some 350 are missing and presumed dead. 137 have been taken into custody in Miami and are seeking asylum. With the clothes on their back, they came through a storm. And the ones that didn't die want a better life, and they want it here. Talk about impressive.
I like his heart, his keen mind, his sense of humor, and he has a very clear sense of heroism. He does the hard things, he makes the hard choices, and he does it for the right reason. Thank you. Good night. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Did you hear him do the speech? I'd follow that man. I'd vote for him. Unbeknownst to him, I think he is just incredible presidential material. I think he's the kind of president you'd like to have.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
I didn't realize that Martin was such a goofball because I just knew him from his dramatic work. But man, he's a lot of fun. He certainly finds the fun in the president.
What is this for?
Flu shot?
I don't need a flu shot.
You do need a flu shot.
Well, how do I know this is not the start of a military coup?
Sir?
I want the Secret Service in here.
Now, in the event of a military coup, sir, what makes you think the Secret Service is going to be on your side?
Now, that's a thought that's going to fester.
It's not just about the president, you know. It's about the administration, which takes a whole lot of people. And we see the critical people around him. They're all fighting to get their issues on the president's desk. So there's a lot of clashes, and there's a lot of cooperation.
You can't spend time with a call girl, Sam. You're going to get caught.
Caught doing what?
Don't get cute with me.
You are aware that I didn't know she was a call girl when I went home with her, right?
Yes, but you called her again and went back to see her.
I went back to see her. I didn't go back to solicit her.
It doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't make a difference.
You work in the White House, Sam. You work 50 feet from the Oval Office, and you're consorting with a woman.
Consorting? I'm friendly with a woman. I like this woman. This woman poses no threat to the president, and it's very likely that owing to my friendship, this woman may start living her life inbounds, ensuring for herself a greater future. And isn't that exactly what we're supposed to be doing here?
The stories, the characters, they're not based on anybody who is in the White House or has ever been in the White House. But I think it deals with a lot of the issues that we deal with today. Sort of tries to incorporate them into the storylines. But I also think it gives it the opportunity to show a human side to the people who are behind the scene of politics.
Somewhere between 1,200 and 2,000 Cubans began embarking from a fishing village 30 miles south of Havana.
Where are they headed?
Vegas. Miami, though it's not clear how sophisticated the navigational equipment.
Navigational equipment, that way's north, I think is pretty... CJ, if one of these guys could throw a split-fingered fastball, we'd send in the USS Eisenhower. What I like about this guy is his name is Josh Lyman. He's the Deputy Chief of Staff. He started working with Bartlett during the campaign. And he's an idealistic guy, passionately idealistic guy who is forced to make some pragmatic decisions, and that's the tension in this guy, is that he knows that he has to give up some things he cares very deeply about in order to get other things, and it's very hard for him to do that smoothly. It's also driving him nuts that they just hired his ex-girlfriend to work in the White House.
We just want to say that we think you're excellent, and can we have your autograph?
Sure. This is Manny Hampton. She's excellent, too.
From the campaign.
Didn't you guys used to be a thing?
Jennifer?
Sorry, he was love of my life, but then he'd done me wrong, so I sent him packing, and I told him, don't you come back no more, no more.
She used to steal money from you.
Really?
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks.
Sure.
The show is the creation of feature film writer and producer Aaron Sorkin.
It was the script that got me interested. I think Aaron Sorkin's a brilliant writer, and I thought this is something that I'd like to do.
Aaron's writing is just so far and above most of the stuff that I read or that I see.
I wrote a movie called The American President, and I wanted to do an ensemble piece centering on the president's senior staff. The show is a drama, but you're going to laugh a lot. I think that people are going to like the sense that they're behind the scenes at the White House, and I think people are going to have fun.
St. John's Hospital has diagnosed the president with a mild sprain in his left ankle, sustained while cycling into a large cypress tree. By all means, enjoy yourselves.
In order to capture the flavor of what life in the White House is really like, the producers brought in President Clinton's former press secretary, Dee Dee Myers.
They strive to be really realistic, and I think they've done a great job. The overall feeling of it is very much what it's like working in the West Wing. A former White House staffer watching West Wing can say, yeah, that's what it feels like to be there.
If the look of the West Wing seems authentic, it's because of the attention producers put into faithfully recreating the presidential offices.
This is the Oval Office. This is the center of power, the center of gravity in the West Wing. It's where the president works. You walk in here, it's pretty amazing.
The space behind us is actually very, very realistic to what you'd see in the news. The desk is a replica of a desk that was, I believe, put in the Oval Office for the Kennedy administration. The flags are just like they would be an American flag, and the flag with the presidential seal on it, which is only really displayed in the space where the president's inhabiting. The windows have historic glass in them that's kind of wavy, just like you'd see in the Oval Office. The window treatment, the drapery is identical, same fabric as has been used in the Oval Office. So it's pretty realistic.
I've never been to the White House, but when I walked into the Oval Office on this set, I got chills, and I felt like I was standing in the White House in Washington. It's an amazing set. It's absolutely beautiful.
The Oval Office is just one of several remarkable sets created for the production of the West Wing that also includes an endless array of presidential details and White House replicas.
It's this $1 million plus exact recreation of not only the Oval Office, but of the entire office structure of the West Wing.
You're supposed to tell them about the building and its history. You need anything?
I need someone to tell me about the building and its history.
It's an extraordinary duplication of the White House, of the West Wing. It's thrilling. I remember the first time I looked at it. I'm wandering around the set, and I suddenly opened this door. It's the Oval Office, and I'm in it, and I got chills. It's like nothing I've ever seen on television.
On my days off, on my weekends, I'll wake up and watch the Sunday morning news programs and say, you know what, I'm going to have to talk to the president about that. Wait a minute, I don't really work in the White House.
I'm sorry to be rude, but are you a moron? You're the White House Deputy Communications Director, and you're not good at talking about the White House?
Ironic, isn't it? If I weren't in the West Wing, I'd be watching it, because I want to see what it's like behind that curtain.